Greetings, mortals, I am the Fallen Shogun, and welcome to the Who's and Indie, where strategic, tactics, and indie games combine into front of your faces. Today's impression is Hell Architect, of which this is the prologue. So let's get into the prologue as opposed to the sandbox. Let's go Hell. I'm gonna skip this. So what is Hell Architect? You are an architect in Hell. You're some kind of demon or whatever, like I said, I skipped it. And you are building Hell.
I see.
Not all of it, just a bit of it. Basically, Hell Architect is what you'd get if you combine Oxygen Not Included with Hell. You have a small section, obviously, there's only so much you can go. You can't go past a certain limit, as I'll show you here. You've got a fair bit of space, as you can see there, the edge is there, so a bit of dark. And this is your specific section of Hell. Well, that's a Fat Man 2, but wait, that's a holy bug. And your goal is to build a very specific hell for your people. Now there's four important resources. Actually, there's several. So let's go through it. Your people need to sleep. Because they have energy. Yeah, in hell, they need to sleep. As you can see, they need to eat. They need to drink, and they need to poop. So each person has four specific things. Now, because it's hell, you make them work for it, which we'll show here. So the resources you need to build are dirt, which is this stuff. Coal, which is this stuff. Metal, which is this stuff. And then there's a special ingredient called suffering. Suffering you get by making them suffer, which is where the hell part of the game comes in. So my people need basics. Ladders up, floor down, stuff like that. As you can see, you require certain resources. So, what do I need? I need food. You can either have like a mushroom farm or a meat farm. So a meat farm, let's just build it here to be a point, grows meat. Then your people need to have a cauldron, so you make them work at. Then you need to have a trough, which they go to. Also, speeding up doesn't actually speed up, you can tell by the timer. So yeah, this will automatically produce food. But they don't eat it. So to get food, you need a cauldron, which you need a bit more metal. Then, of course, we need a trough. So troughs are automatic. Farms are automatic. Cauldrons you need to assign someone to work. It's very weird that in hell you make them work rather than just torture them, but here you are. And every 10 minutes you get a randomised sinner. So the game is a little bit slow. I'm talking through it right now. Then we'll have to cut, because otherwise it will take forever. It will literally take forever. So, let's just dig down to here. Put a ladder in, why not? And put stuff in. So yeah, we need food, then we need the cauldron. Let's just quickly do this, put this in. There we go. So yeah, this here requires someone to work at it. Now, these buildings, once someone's assigned, will stay there forever. It will show you the cycle. And also show you what it does, as you can see, thirst, bladder, and so on. Now you can get rid of them, and maybe assign someone better useful for it, like in certain torture items, certain people have different fears, like different fears to blood, to heat, stuff like that. But as you can see, we now have one person working forever. Now they will leave it when they need other resources, stuff like sleeping, or eating, stuff like that. So if they're hungry, they will go over to there. But no one else will ever take over that job, unless you tell them to. You've assigned them there for the rest of eternity. So as you can see, you'll need one person to make water, one person to cook. You can obviously take them off the jobs, but you'd rather have them there forever. So once you start getting to a certain stage, you need more sinners. So the game is quite slow to build up, because of course it's every 10 minutes for sinner. So you could be waiting for half an hour for your third extra sinner. So the game is slow. Anyway, let's quickly get the rest of the stuff sorted. So what we need is food, which is, like I say, meat or a mushroom farm. You can see there's also a field kitchen and so on. We also need to drink, which is quite disgusting. Drinking is a toilet, so they can poop. You can see where this one's going, can't you? Then we have this lovely invention, the water squeezer. Guess where it squeezes the water from? And they drink from a bucket. Yeah. So now we have two people permanently assigned. Like I say, you can take them off of it, but you'd rather have them there so you can constantly get resources. So this guy is now squeezing poop. So that is food, water, toilet, sorted. Now we just need a box for them to sleep in, because otherwise what's the point of life? If they don't get their own box, are they even really having a life at all? So grab that, grab this, and then we'll start talking about the rest of it. But I need to wait a little bit so I can actually grab a couple more sinners. So I'll see you in a second, but in me, 12 minutes. Ugh. Okay, so actually, let's put a box. And it literally is a box. Like I say, you can officially force people to do these things. Like I can just go, oh, you need to poop. Go poop now. And when they're free, they'll go and poop. But otherwise, they'll just do it on their own. So you have sleeping, eating, drinking, and pooping sorted. They will just do it on their own. Anyway. Okay, so we've gained our 6th person. So let's talk about it. So it's very much like Oxygen Not Included or the Rim World. Because you have a population. Now, I usually talk about these if it's like a city builder or a base builder or a colony builder. The difference being a city builder, you don't care about your people. Colony and base builders, you do. Each person is very specific, as you can see. You can see how good they are fatigue, hunger, drinking. You can see what their state, their sanity is. And of course, you can see what their level of abilities are. Each person is good at certain things. So hopefully you get them assigned to certain jobs, as you can see. You can see what they're doing. You also see their traits. Like envy, pride, you see that. It takes longer than others. This person is problematic to blood. This person's blood, small spaces, so you can try and get the right sinner for the right sinning thing to get better suffering. You can also buy them back from limbo, imagine that's if they die. Now, let's show you how you get your suffering. As you can see, I've moved stuff around. So, suffering is from your torture. Your standard, completely bog standard torture device is the Iron Maiden. You make them listen to their music and they slowly lose their mind. So of course you have the Bath of Kings, the Furnace, the Freezer, and the Dental Chair, which I personally hate. Now certain things you go further in, like the better stuff, requires suffering. Suffering is the standard coin of hell. So let's roll at it. Let's see. Build it here. Let's build 2 Iron Maidens. Let's get a concert going. Also, while you're at it, you can actually turn off nudity. There's an option here to turn off nudity and blood. Of course, that's for the voyeurs out there. If I turn it off, I might get taken out by YouTube. Now, see, this is what my goal is, 300 to do this, and I slowly build it up. Now, how do I get suffering? I assign someone. By clicking the button. And there you are. The suffering beginneth once more. As you can see, they really don't like that. So hopefully it's assigned the person who has the greatest of the small spaces. Now, no one else cares about small spaces. So the next person I put in will not give me as much suffering. But as you can see, I have 6 people. 2 of them are manning the resources. One's doing the food, one's doing the water, in which case we don't have much. And 2 are doing the suffering. I am already down 2/3 of my workforce and I've already waited 20 minutes. So there is an issue with the game where it takes a little bit longer for things to happen. So of course you obviously want to make sure the person doing the right thing is specifically ready for it. Because you don't really want someone who's bad to, you know, do something you specifically need. So yeah, getting the right suffering for the right person is super important. Now the suffering's building up, which means you can start the more suffering. How much suffering do we need? We need all the suffering. Why all the suffering? Well, we're in hell. And if we're not making people suffer, who is? YouTube! Oh wait. No, keep watching YouTube. Now my people also hate being put in liquid. A few of them don't like fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a vat over there and then assign someone to it. We need a good amount of, let's see, what is this? Thirst and tiredness on this one. The Bath of Kings. We believe that every sinner deserves a bath. Cool. Trait is fire. Don't we have a few fiery people? We have 1 fiery person. What is your current job? Sleeping. What are you assigned to? Sloth. Too tired to work and rest. So you get tired 2 times faster. Of course you do. For this person, Monica, we want to assign to the right place. So Monica, get out of there. Monica, get into there. So hopefully it assigns Monica. There we go. Because you can't seem to individually assign people. Unless I click on them. Let me have a look. Click. Well, we can actually add a second person to reading this. Click. Let's see, your trait is small spaces. Wait. Your trait is small spaces. Why aren't you in the pit? Get in, Matthew. Can't believe they weren't being suffered. Oh, wait. This isn't small spaces, it's literally a coffin of spikes. So you can upgrade them. It costs resources, of course, but you do get more stuff out of it. This is just blood. Okay, let's upgrade it then. So we're going to upgrade the coffin, which, as you can see, is even spikier than ever before. Which is what you need in your spiky coffin. But of course we have even less suffering. So suffering is super important for upgrades, more important things, and usually doing the quests. Quests, of course, will require huge amounts of suffering. And of course this is what we just do. So we need a lot more suffering things. Let's carry on expanding our suffering. This is fire. This is literally a lot of fire. How many people hate fire? 2. Thomas, you're going to be put into the pit of fire. Congratulations, Thomas. Welcome to the worst time of your life. Even though you're dead, so you don't have one. Thomas? No, you're not Thomas. Thomas? Who are you? You Thomas? You're Nero. Nero? The Emperor? Wearing a weird shirt, aren't you? Thomas. Nero's orb. Gives the value of the fire trait to 100%. Oh, I like you. Get in. No. No. No reason. Okay, no one's doing this. There's no one drinking. Everyone needs to get a drink. But no one seems to be drinking or eating or doing anything. So I'm going to add this, which is a, not simple latrine, a drink dispenser. Let's make my people happier with their lives. Because otherwise they're not doing a damn thing. And I hate them. I hate them all so damn much. Like, so far, you have been a massive disappointment, Thomas. You've been standing outside the DIY bed now for 10 minutes. And then you jump in, but you still want a drink. Matthew is better than you. Matthew's suffering. What are you doing, Thomas? What are you doing for hell these days? Nothing. Doing absolutely nothing for hell, Thomas. Yes, I know you need a drink. There's been a lot of drink for a while. People have been pooping. Water's been squeezed. It's disgusting, but you just don't want any. Why aren't you taking any, Thomas? Why are you a bad employee of hell? We're not employing them. We're not even paying them. To be fair, it's their fault. They're technically involuntary interns, is the phrase I will be using liberally. Also, liberals will be here too, apparently, and conservatives, and anyone else who's ever said anything weird. If you have to speak to the manager, you're probably here. So we appear to be in a tantrum spiral where no one's doing their job, just like Oxygen Not Included, because no one's making water. No one wants to poop because they're thirsty, which means no one's making water. So if you're not, there's literally 15 drink, but no one wants to poop to make water. So they're all just dying. So we're currently we're literally going through a death spiral right now. No one's doing a damn thing. So, you know, I'm not quite sure how death spirals work. I imagine they get sent back to limbo and then they get brought back for good behaviour. What I know is, no one wants to do their job. And of course, how can they do their job when they're all wanting a drink? So I can't make a drink because I want a drink. Which is always an issue with these kinds of games. Oh, no one wants to make a drink because they need a drink. Make a drink because you need a drink. This was one of the early issues of Oxygen Not Included, you know. That your people would stop making food because they were hungry and everyone would then die of a lack of food. So we have 8 sinners. Someone needs to make a drink. Emily, you're new. Make drink for these people. Okay, I'm assigning people to this job now. What do you mean there's no drink? There's 20 drink in it. Oh, I hate each and every one of you. Okay, maybe I need better drinks. Okay, start drinking out the bucket. See if I care. I try and make culture for you people in hell and no one wants it. Bloody typical, isn't it? Bloody typical. Yeah, I know you're apparently dying somehow. Oh, I hate each and every one of you. Okay, so no one wants to drink out of the special water because it's not special enough. That hurts. That makes me want to kill you. Makes me want to kill each and every one of you. I know you're apparently dying. No one else cares, Monica. You're a terrible person. Apparently they just go insane. Good. Good. I hate you. Absolutely hate you. Abel, are you the right person? Oh, I hate each and every one of you. So yeah, careful. You the right person for this one, Eve? What do you hate? You hate blood. That's just not the one for you then. Eve, get into this one. Eve? Eve, what are you doing? Eve! Thomas, why are you such a terrible employee? No one's doing their job because they want resources again. Yeah, a couple of minor issues. Probably have to talk about them. It's always the big one, isn't it? People don't do their job because they need the resource that job does. It's a problem. Because how do you make them ignore the resources they need to want to do stuff? So yeah, back in a second. We'll see if he win or we'll see if they're all dead. Personally, I'm hoping they all die. Oh, your sinner's lost. Your sinner's lost their mind. However, you can turn them back from the ways of limbo. Cool. So, yeah, when they die, you can buy them with suffering out of limbo. Which hopefully means this person is better. Christopher, do your damn job. Make food. Every time you go to limbo, I get upset. And when I get upset, I watch you all starve for amusement, apparently. Which apparently doesn't give me suffering, even though it should definitely give me suffering. Luckily, when they're going insane, they can still build things. I don't like working for you, but they will keep building things for their own horrified amusement. So here we are, making food, watch them all starve, dehydrate, go insane. You know, the usual things. Yes, I know you all need a drink. I hate each and every one of you. It's very, very obvious I hate you. Did you not get the memo where it said I hate you in big letters? Okay, let's try and build a new thing for them. Okay, so yeah, we have 9 sinners now. I'm going to leave it here. Obviously, what you meant to do is you meant to do this, you build it up, then you move on. It's obviously just a scenario. But if you do not have your food and water set up, this is what happens. These people literally deserve to be in hell. Because the only way I can actually operate the water is to literally wait 10 minutes for someone new to arrive. As you can see, 10 sinners appears to be the max right now, see, for this. So I have 10 sinners, of which one's finally making water. So 10 crappy water gets turned into 15 nice water, which they have a drink over here. But of course, if people are upset, they won't work. They will, however, build, they'll complain, they'll go back to limbo, and then they'll get sent back to hell again when you use some suffering. So, you know, they're happy people, but if there's no food or water, they won't work and make more of it, they'll just complain and then die. Then they'll come back to hell, where they'll complain and then die. I hate them all. This is probably why they deserve to be here. So a couple of minor issues, otherwise the game's actually very exciting. I like auction not included, I like the theme, I like the style. Of course, I'd like a little bit more control. So, be able to actually choose who goes to these places. As you can see, there's no real option. Obviously, you can prioritise. You could probably see right click to decrease. But, yeah. There's no real options right now. So let's see. You can choose see who's good, that stuff. But I'd very much like to be able to force them to do certain things. Now, right now, I'm trying to force them to drink and eat. Because my people are finally working. We finally have water and food, and they can finally get tortured properly. As opposed to torturing me, who just wants to torture them. My God, what I want to do is torture them. And they made my life a misery, so I'll make theirs worse. Anyway, this has been a first look at Hell Architect, the prologue. The prologue should be active now. If not, wait for the full game anyway. Link in the description downstairs below to go wishlist it on Steam. I'd recommend it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, be awesome, be epic, be amazing, and I'll be seeing you next time. Stay safe out there. Otherwise you'll end up in this place, making me suffer.